Hello Eurovision friends, thank you so much for coming to my channel Eurovision Histories for my review of day number 4 of the rehearsals for Eurovision 2025. You know that by now we have 3 photos for each of the performances and also a blog on Reddit by the EBU that tells us some more things. And today we're talking about Malta, Georgia, Denmark, Czechia, Luxembourg, Israel, Serbia, and Finland, last but not least. So these are all the rest of the semifinalists we haven't seen up until now. And today, hopefully later today, there will be clips of the rehearsals of the first semifinalists that had their second rehearsal today. And I'm going to do a video about that, obviously, as well. So do subscribe if you haven't yet, if you don't want to miss that. Let's get right to it. And we're starting on a high with Malta, Miriana Conte, and serving. She has a huge stage prop, 2 red lips with a silver disco ball in the middle. I'm going to leave it up to your imagination what this looks like, but quite an interesting prop and quite fitting for this performance and the song as well, I think. And apparently she starts the performance in the disco ball in a huge yellow dress, bright yellow dress, according to the blog. We don't have pictures of that. And then she gets lifted out of that and then performs the rest of the song in the outfit we see there, a black red catsuit, and she also has red hair. Now let's go to the next picture. We see that the bouncy balls are still part of the performance, but apparently otherwise the choreography is a bit different, but I'm happy that the bouncy balls are still there. You see that it's a red like catsuit, but there are also sequins, and she kind of looks like a bit devilish, and I kind of like that for this performance. You see some cool fog effect as well in the background, and then you can kind of make out what it says in the background. I think it's Diva Not Down, which is a nod to the fans who know what this is about, and maybe the people who have heard about the controversy about her having to change the title of her song. Overall, this has a nice color scheme and like visual identity that works with the song, gives it a bit of a devilish nature as well. She has backing dancers as well, obviously, that lift her out of the dress, I'm guessing, and also add a bit of fun to the performance as well. So well done, Malta. Then we have Georgia, Miriam, and you can see she is in a white or silver dress, and she's sitting on, I'm not sure whether you can make it out, a kind of geometrical rock. And the dress and the rock are kind of similar colors, and it almost looks like she becomes part of the rock. When I first saw the picture, I thought it was a huge dress, but it's actually her sitting on the rock performing the song, obviously. She has 4 male dancers in traditional Georgian choka coats. That word I got from the blog. So if you're from Georgia, do let us know what exactly that means and why it is significant maybe in Georgian culture. I'm always interested to learn these kinds of things. The dancers will then also go around the rock with white and blue flags. I'm kind of thinking of Karula in 2005 when I read that. Lots of acrobatics that the dancers are doing, as you can see there as well. In the graphics, there's apparently a moon rising that turns into a red sun, also quite impressive. And then there's also a dress reveal when the silver dress gets changed for this. I'm not quite sure how to explain this, like you can see it there. It looks a bit circusy to me, the acrobatics, and then this outfit as well. And there's also a mountain backdrop, which seems to be a theme this year as well. Then we have Denmark, Sissle. She had already announced that they would do a lot of changes and upgrades to the national final performance, which I think was a good idea. Looking at this image, it looks so much better already than the national final. They have curtains hanging from the ceiling, several white curtains that apparently they project different colors onto, and just this looks like the Northern Lights almost. Beautiful color scheme, kind of looks like the colors I use on the channel as well. She's in a coat, and according to the blog, she's in a tunnel of strobes and neon lights at some point. And the coat is blue and white, so the color scheme for this is kind of blue and white, as you can see there. Kind of Finland almost. when it comes to the colors at least. And then there's also a dress reveal, as you can see there. The coat is lifted off of her, and then she's in a blue leotard. I do like this one much more than the national final one, but I could still think of better outfits. But anyway, she seems to like it. She seems to feel comfortable, and that is fine. According to the blog, the dancers press their faces into the curtain like ghosts. I'm kind of guessing they look like silhouettes then. Interested to see how that works out in the end. And the dancers, this is also interesting, their feet are anchored into the ground so they can move. Where did we see that? Cyprus, Hovig a few years ago, and can move like that and still stay in the same position, basically. So that should be interesting as well. And you see Sissle there surrounded by the dancers, also creating a kind of nice figure with their bodies. And then you also see the great curtains once again, and the lighting. This year the lighting is really, really exquisite. I have to say, looks really cool in this as well. So kind of going from northern lights to blue and white staging. Then we have Adonxs for Czechia, Kiss Kiss Goodbye. The delegation gave some notes on the staging and said that this would evoke the movie Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't quite see it there. This evokes Freddie Mercury to me more than Inception, but that's still great. Freddie Mercury is great, obviously. He has a lot of stage presence, obviously. His vocals are amazing, so he can probably move a lot more than someone whose vocals are a bit shaky. So that's a plus. When it comes to the outfit, Adonxs and me are never really aligned. I like one of his pre-party outfits, and otherwise, yeah, it's a bit complicated. Here, I think it's okay, actually. White and black is always classy and looks quite good here. He has something on his wrist that I can't quite make out. Maybe it looks like a spider or a black flower or something. And he loses the coat later on, which helps him move during the dance break, I'm quite sure. The shape of the microphone stand is quite interesting. But I don't really like a all white outfit, especially the white gloves give me like a weird vibe sometimes. And it kind of looks like, if you go back here, like some 80s Eurovision performances. I think of Cowgirls in black and white. I can't quite think of it. Leave a comment. Also Katja Epstein and Theater and Mr. Pingouin. Anyway, the outfit is not that important. His voice is amazing, so that's fine. And he also has the backing dancers that come in, if I understand it correctly, like in the pre-parties when the dance break starts, and then stay along. And during the dance break, the whole color scheme changes to red. The blog says that the whole performance feels like a dystopian heaven, which I can kind of see because it's all white. The background seems to be white as well. Not sure how much contrast that will create. It might all fade into one, but maybe they have some kind of camera effect that we can't quite see yet. The staging is white, but there are apparently pulsating black shades. So maybe we don't see everything in the photos. Obviously, we don't. Then we have Luxembourg with a much upgraded outfit, which I like a lot more. She also looks a lot more natural, and she's really a natural beauty, so I'm quite happy that they changed that. The performance still starts with doll-like movements. The dancers are kind of moving her, but then throughout the performance, she becomes more and more human and more independent, which I love. This is what I always wanted the staging to be like, because that's what the song is about. She apparently starts in a dollhouse at the beginning when the dancers move her around, and then she leaves the dollhouse, goes to a different part of the stage, and there she lies down. We can't really tell all that much there. But there's also a dress reveal. She gets rid of the corset and is then in a silver mini dress, I guess, with songs that are completely in other languages that most people don't understand. It's always important to have storytelling, I think. And they did that, and I'm quite happy with that. Next up, we have Israel, Yuval, Raphael. As you can see, they have the biggest prop, according to the blog. At least until now, we still have the big five performances. It's hard to explain, but you see it there. The blog explained it as a chandelier or a bird cage. It looks kind of like Sheldon Riley's platform, but a bit upgraded. And there are like curtains, a bit like Latvia as well. And apparently she starts at the bottom. Then during the French part of the song, she's in the middle. And for the Hebrew part, she's on top, which makes sense because the song also builds and builds and builds. The outfit is black with these draped sleeves, which make her look, you can see that in the next photo, like a bird, so maybe birdcage makes sense. There's also a gold rain, which reminds me also of a few other Eurovision performances. The thing I am surprised about is the song is quite simple. And by the way, this one kind of reminds me of voila, Edith Piaf style, and that makes sense with this song, so that should be a nice moment. But otherwise, I'm a bit surprised that she's in black, and also walking up the stairs can sometimes create, or down the stairs also, some awkward moments where, and she's alone on stage, so I don't really know what they're gonna do while she walks up. And otherwise, it feels a bit like Eurovision by the numbers, and I'm not sure this huge bombastic staging really works with the song, maybe with the last part of the song, but not really with the slower part at the beginning. But maybe there are some camera angles that make that work. Then Serbia, Princ and Mila, one of my secret pleasure. No, not really. I told everyone that I like this and that I think it will do well. They got rid of all the kit from the national final performance. There's no moon, there's no roses, there's no acrobat. It's a Princ in a red tailored suit, which is a choice, but it makes him stand out from the all black backing dancers. There are three male dancers, and the blog says they draw him into a contemporary dance routine, which should be quite interesting. I don't think we've seen him dance that much in the past. The blog did say that he didn't miss a single note, which was quite rare. They almost never talked about the vocals, so they must have been impressed. They also said that Austria didn't miss a note. So obviously, he is quite impressive. And then there's apparently another dramatic moment where two of the dancers drag him across the stage by his legs. I can't quite imagine what that means. And then there's explosions of red graphics when that happens as well. I think in the next picture we can see a fire as well, pyro, and the red graphics in the background. It also looks a bit hellish, devilish, and the dragging by the feet probably has to do with the meaning of the lyrics, which I like. And I just want to go back to this one because, again, the lighting makes this look so exquisite and so cool. I'm really impressed by this. Well done, Serbia. And last but not least, we have Erika Vikman. I am very happy to announce that it has finally clicked, and I am really in love with this song now. I listened to it this morning during my commute, and I kind of had to hold myself back not to sing this song on a German bus, which would have been interesting. I think this looks quite like UMK, and the blog also says that, but this image actually shows that the outfit is a bit more subdued. I think it almost looks conservative in this one. I think the black gloves add something that gives it a bit more class, which I think is great. And also the outfit as such has been upgraded. It's now leather or pleather with some studs as well that give it some detail. And it just looks a bit less like it did at the national final. Erika is still alone on stage because she doesn't need anyone else, and it fits with the message of the song as well, a strong woman. There's apparently very precise camera work, according to the blog as well. And then obviously at the end, we have the big microphone, and you can see that there's a hole where probably the fireworks can come out of. And the graphics are basically like in UMK, showing the title of the song and then also her name. The blog said it's UMK but harder, which I found quite interesting. So well done, Finland, as well. Basically the national final performance, but a big upgrade as well. That is all I have to say about the images from day number 4. And please come back tomorrow for the clips of the first semi-final. Thank you so much. Do subscribe if you don't want to miss any of my videos coming out this week. And then I'll see you for my next one. See you then, and bye-bye.